Welcome to the Businessmen and Women of Color podcast. I am your host, Ann Alston, and it is once again my pleasure to bring quality programs to all of you. I am so excited, yes, again, to be here with another amazing professional that's going to be on the platform today. We're going to be talking to her about her event space business because we need to know that we have professionals out there in the minority community that own event space. So I'm really happy to talk with her today, and we will be having her very shortly. In 2018, this has been utterly amazing with all of these people who have stepped up to be part of the movement, and I want to thank each and every one of them to be here. If you happen to miss being on this platform this year, make sure you sign up for the 2019 BMWOC season. Just in case you didn't know, the purpose of the BMWOC is to not only share our industry information, but we are encouraging you, the career seekers, to enter their line of work and understand the different career trends that's happening today. So with that, we want you to visit all of the pages and listen to all of the podcasts that we're going to have posted on this season. There is a lot of information. We don't want you to miss any of it. So take advantage of it because you can't get this anywhere else other than the BMWOC. One of the things we want to do before we get started is to thank our corporate sponsors and partners, which are Kat Sereno LLC, Cheryl Wood Empowers, Concern and Learning, Evangelism Radio, Genesis Preferred Solutions, J Coach International, Nails Tax Help, My Financial Home, Power, STCI, and the Student Teacher, along with our other business partners and sponsors, and everyone else who is supporting this event. So today we have all the way in Manhattan on Broadway. We have Nashay Jobyoon here, who is the CEO and founder of Manhattan on Broadway event space located in Louisville, Kentucky. She recently left her career in corporate America after 20 years of dedicated service to step out on faith, and through a Try God campaign at her church, Bates Memorial Baptist Church, she learned the importance of Malachi 3. And with that effort, she and her husband renovated an event space, making it one of Louisville's unique event venues located in downtown Louisville, Kentucky. She recently also launched a new business venture called the Exchange Homes that provide furnishing, housing for business travelers, military families, vacations, corporate housing units, you name it. And she is going to be here to talk about that and more. So continue reading her bio while we talk to Nashay. Hey, how you doing?
Hello, everyone, and hello, listeners. Thank you so much, Ann, for having me.
No problem at all. So I always like to begin. Let's talk about, your background, where you from. What did you do before you got this event space? And how did you even manage to get this awesome opportunity?
Oh, wow, that is a very good question that I'm still trying to answer myself. Let me start by saying I was in corporate America for 20 plus years. I worked at our utility company here in Louisville, Kentucky. I had worked in several different departments and I had went back to school, got degrees that the corporate American job had paid for. And at that point, I realized, hey, let me start trying to apply for jobs that I know I'm qualified for and jobs that I could be an asset to help bring the company up to other great standards. So I applied for jobs that I knew I would be qualified for. And then once I, got the rejection letters, it was okay. Then I said to myself, basically, okay, I'm at the glass ceiling effect. So I know what I'm worth. I know what I could do. And let me figure out how I'm going to be able to go ahead and exercise and get this done because I know what I'm capable of doing. So I happened to be one day just on lunch break driving down the street, going to get me some hot sandwich and some soup, and happened to be going past a building that I was kind of familiar with as growing up, but, just one of these old historical buildings right on Broadway in Louisville, Kentucky. And I just happened to say, something said pull in. I'm like, why am I pulling in? There's no signs. There's no business
It's
in there that's
calling you. It's
operating.
calling you in.
It is exactly. So I turned in. I said, okay, God, you got me. You have me right here in this parking lot. What am I supposed to be doing? What am I supposed to be meeting? What is this old building about? What is going on? At this point, I had no idea what I was going to be doing. So I got out of building, being the person that I am, I like to see what am I supposed to be doing. So I got out, walked around on Broadway, and tried to look inside the building. It was all boarded up, and then I went around the side and went around the back, and I'm like, okay, God, you're gonna have to reveal something to me because I'm supposed to be here. I felt the move, but why am I here? And happened to be getting out of the. I was headed back to my car. A guy walked up and said, "Hey, would you like to see the building?" I'm like, yeah. He's like, well, I'm trying to sell it. I'm like, wow, really?
Wow.
So from
Okay.
there, it went from there all the way until we went through a 360 renovation. We gutted out the
Mm,
place. We brought back the
wow.
beauty and architect. It was
Mm,
historically a historical building. It was originally built as a veterinarian hospital to specialize in horse care. That's so significant for the city of Louisville since we are the home of the Kentucky Derby. So the horses from the Kentucky Derby and Churchill Downs over 100 years ago used to go there to get service when they were sick.
mhm.
So it's such a beautiful event space. And now that we're up and operating, we opened the doors January the 3rd. We do all type of special events. We do weddings, birthdays, corporate events, bourbon tastings, family reunion, class reunions, you name it. People come in and rent the space out for their special event. We are a one-stop event company, meaning we could do everything you need from catering, photo booths, sound and AV, chocolate fountains, props, furniture, decorations, tents, you name it, we house
Wow.
it.
Wow.
Yes,
Oh my
all of
goodness.
that in one, exactly. So can you believe, like the Derby's coming up in May? It's always the first week in May. So we got tons and tons of events going on for Derby, and it's just every day we're doing something different every day, and we love the fact that each event is help changing lives across the world. So we're super excited about
Wow.
Manhattan on Broadway.
Oh my goodness. Okay, you know what? I got to deep dive into this event space thing because usually I kind of deep dive even before that. But what I really want to kind of get out of this podcast is okay, so you drove up and had the opportunity to buy this space. So
Uh
for
huh.
those people, I know that there are tons of folks that may be interested in buying buildings. We don't really talk about that much. We
Mhm.
always talk about buying a
Mhm.
house, buying a car, all that kind of stuff.
Mhm.
Let's talk about the process in which you had to buy this space and how you were able to get the funding to even renovate it because yeah, I know me, I'm an old HGTV look, I'm looking at all
Yes.
these renovations. I'm
Yes.
thinking, how can I get the money to renovate my house? I'm looking around my house like, okay, do I have enough equity to do what they're trying to do? So I kind of want to get out of this podcast in terms of because you have such a unique thing that
Yes.
is rarely, rarely talked about. And I want to use this time for that. So let's talk about
Sure,
that.
sure. Be glad to. So what it was an old build, like I told you, it's over 100 years old, plus old. So there was no operating business in it at the time that I happened to drive up and be able to see this amazing building. And I was working in corporate America already. And normally things should be, you should already be working on, if you know you're going to open up a business, are you looking for a commercial property? The normal steps would be to have a realtor involved. The normal steps would be to have financing and everything already approved and ready. I have startup funds. I have capital. Mine didn't go that way. So I don't know how helpful I would be. Everything was through me trying God, stepping out on faith and believing, okay, God, if you want me to open up this business, then you're going to have to make a way. God did do that. So I used all of my own resources that God has blessed me with. And instead of me um, using money for everything else, what I did was just basically use the money that I had in a few different other places and just brought it into a major investment of my own in a nutshell.
Hmm.
Now, is that the right way to always do that? It just depends on the situation. I would have loved to have been able to walk into the bank and say, hey, I need
Hmm.
$1 million. I would love to have been able to do that. But it doesn't always work in our favor for that way. So I had to do what I knew that I could do, and I already had some other real estate things working for me. So I kind of just used every penny that I had. When I say penny, I mean every penny, every cent, every
Wow.
dime. And I just poured everything into it. And guess what? I am super excited that I have. Am I able to pay myself right now? No, not at all. But guess what? It's so rewarding to be able to have something that you could call your own. So when I'm ready to close the doors, I close the doors. And when I'm ready to
Mhm.
start something different, I can start something different. It's just
Mhm.
a beautiful thing when you can be able to say, I have worked for this. I have put everything into this.
Mhm.
This is nothing nobody came in and designed or did this or remodeled or construction. You could say, this is all of my love and my vision and my passion right here. So I'm super excited. Now it's a little bit harder, for me to get to where I need to be as far as the revenue. But guess what? It's coming. So you just got to believe. And I guess a lot of
Right.
that's helping me is my relationship that I have with the Lord, knowing that
Mhm.
everything is going to, add up to what it's supposed to. And we're going on 4 years now being open, and he hasn't failed us yet. So I don't foresee him doing it. Actually, we're looking in other cities. I'm looking in
Mhm.
Huntsville, Cincinnati, and Nashville to place Manhattan on Broadway in a whole other city too, and have
Mhm.
this one here in Louisville, Kentucky to remain.
Nice. Well, thank you for sharing that experience because it's hard, just trying to buy a house
Oh
and
yeah.
you kind of
Oh
poured
yes.
into this building just as if you were
Yes.
buying a vehicle and things like that. And
Yes,
so I
ma'am.
want people to understand that it is truly an investment that you are putting into it and
Oh
and
yes,
it will
ma'am.
come, but at the same time, there's going to be trials and tribulations. There's paperwork, of course, you got to do the
Oh
work to get it
yes.
done, but you got
Yes.
it done nonetheless. And like you say, you have so many different events. So after you had opened up your business, how did you
Uh
go
huh.
about marketing so that people will know that you have this nice event space? And maybe talk about maybe some of the people, maybe the organizations or maybe special groups that may have visited your place. Um,
Okay.
talk about stuff like
Good
that because I'm
question.
really interested to know like who showed up
Good
and had what kind of
question.
party, you
Oh
know?
yes. So we've been having such amazing from the days from the time we had our grand opening up until now. We have had nothing but amazing events. Every event has been nothing but just amazing. I mean, mind blowing. And what I think is happening is that when people come into a very nice, upscale, well kept, very clean venue that's owned, especially, by a woman and a minority woman at that, you got a lot of people like, let me see what this is about. So when they come in and get that great customer service and they come in and get hospitality and they come and get the best service they could possibly get, guess what they do? They turn around and tell other people about it, which keeps our doors open constantly. When people come in for other people's special events, they coming in from um, Chicago, Detroit, D.C. They're coming from all over cities because they're inviting their friends and families that live all over the world. So we're able to be in tune right there and be almost like a melting pot because you got all types of people to come together from all walks of life, all different colors, all ages, and it's just an amazing thing to be able to have an event center and see all these great events that go on. We do have a lot of companies and corporate events that from all over the world who come in, whether they're coming in for business or leisure, they're able to come in, whether they come with other clients they come in and have business meetings. We conduct trainings. We have all type of neat private receptions, celebrity private reception parties because Louisville's up and growing. So the fact that we have our big Kentucky Derby that is major that draws people from all over the world, and then our location is what's so hot because we're right on Broadway. Any city you go to, when you hit Broadway, you hit one of the prime streets, and we're right on Broadway. So
Wow.
I think
And
it has,
yeah.
yeah,
Okay. Yeah, I was going to say when you mentioned about the businesses, you also are opening up an exchange on Broadway, which is private
yes.
membership, co-working space. So talk
Now
a little
that's
bit
hot.
about that.
Now that's extremely hot. So
Okay.
we just unveiled that February the 22nd, and
Okay.
actually a company that we're partnered with, Club Corp, came down to help us to unveil it. So what that is a private membership club. We're the first of its kind in Louisville, Kentucky. So members will be able to have a beautiful location, a corporate image they can work from through Monday through Friday from 8 a.m. to 6 p.m. They'll be able to come in and do co-working space, or if they need to rent out a conference room, or if they need to rent out maybe a private meeting room, or if they need to have a private event center, whatever they need, they're able to have it right there if they're a member. They will also be able to, if they need to travel, they'll be able to go. We have over 300 plus club networks of country clubs and golf
Nice.
clubs and business clubs throughout our whole entire network, that wherever they travel to, they'll
Hmm.
be able to go to other like-minded, nice clubs that are private membership clubs where normally people are not able to get into unless you are a member. So, and to speak on that terms, I partner with Club Court. They provide those benefits for my exchange, and I am the first African American affiliate owner. So I'm super excited about that because that's breaking barriers. It's breaking
Yeah,
barriers.
absolutely.
Yeah. So you're
Wow.
in Maryland, right? Aren't you
I'm
in
in
Maryland?
Maryland. I'm in Maryland,
Okay.
and I'm
So
solely impressed on that.
when I come to Maryland, I'll be able to come and work out of the
Hmm.
Capitol Grill. I'll be coming and
Nice.
work out of Eagles Nest Country Clubs, and
Hmm.
the golf club is South River and Red Door Spas and all those nice, amazing places that are in Maryland.
Wow.
I'll be able just to show up and say, hey, I'm a member of the Exchange in Louisville, Kentucky, and I'm coming to play a game of golf, or I'm coming to we're going
Hmm.
to have a conference here. And isn't that amazing? Like, I could just travel and have that corporate image all over the world.
No, I can't even imagine. But I'm glad that you mentioned that because now people who are business owners, they can join this private membership
Yeah, oh,
and
yes. They
have
could join our private
this
membership,
yeah, and they can actually travel around and be able
travel
to
around the
work and
world.
stuff like that. That is so very good to know. And I'm gonna
Yes,
make sure I have that information that you just said at your on your page so that people can click on it. So here
yes,
we go
ma'am.
again. Now you have another thing go. You the founder of Inspire Network for Women International, which is a
Mhm,
member of Professional Women Network. Okay, so talk a little
mhm.
bit about that because here's another entrepreneur opportunity that you got going on.
Yeah, and this is kind of more of women coming. I love for women to come together and for us to empower, inspire, and to sew into each other. A lot of times, people see women, especially Black women, where we are competing. I'm not about competing. I'm about collaborating. So, a way for me to get this word out and to get this great energy going throughout the whole entire world was to say, hey, let's come up with an amazing group of women. Let's go out and recruit other great women. Let's meet other women. Let's have events for other women. And it don't even have to be here locally. It could be, we have women who are part of this organization who are around the world. So we live stream and have meetings, and live stream and have all type of great trainings that they're able to take. And I'm also a personal coach, a business coach. So I do
Hmm.
business coaching and speaking engagements as well. I offer classes. I have a mentoring program and a coaching program too as well. So you just be able to create a great platform and to help other women to be successful. It's not just about me being successful, it's about other women being successful too.
Absolutely. And so you mentioned that you do a lot of stuff online too that we talked about. And I see that you have one that's called How to Develop a Six-Figure Business Plan to Make a
Mhm.
Profitable Income and
Mhm.
How to Turn Your Customer Service into Revenue Generating Profit Center.
Mhm.
That sounds
Yeah.
really interesting. And how did you come up with the concept of these two webinars?
Well, I went through a lot of changing up my business plans probably 1,000 times. Um, because even when I started out with Manhattan on Broadway back in 2015, it was strictly just, oh, it's going to be Manhattan on Broadway. Well, then in mid of 2016, I said, okay, something needs to go on Monday through Friday. So then that's how the Exchange Commerce Club, which is the business center, that's how that came about because I had to go to Plan B. I said, something needs to go on every day. The weekends are packed, but what about Monday through Friday? So that's how we came about with the private membership club Monday through Friday. So I said, well, you know what? I wonder if other people, business owners, are they stuck on this one business plan? And let me show them how to be able to develop a business plan that's going to work, in favor of them. Because if one idea don't work or one plan don't work, you need to be able to fall back and have plan B and C, and let's make those work. And that's what we show you through the webinar. And the other class on customer service, I was a customer service manager and been customer service leaders and worked in customer service on several different jobs I have held throughout my career. And my biggest thing and what keeps the people throughout my doors and is customer service. And we hear it all the time. If you get a chance, you go to our reviews, and they have them all on Facebook, if anyone's on Facebook, underneath Manhattan on Broadway, check out the reviews. These are paying clients. These are not families, not friends, it's paying clients, and see what they're saying about their experience. Everyone who comes to our doors get the grand experience. We create experience. It's not just coming to Manhattan on Broadway, but you're going to have experience that you're going to remember, from your time from being there. And it's from the janitor all the way up to the CEO. Everybody's going to treat you with the utmost, whether you're paying $2,000 or whether you're paying $20,000. You're going to get the same treatment. And we're excited about that because we love people in Manhattan on Broadway.
Wow, this is fabulous. I don't even know. I'm looking at your bio. I just keep going. So, I mean, because you're doing so much, and what I like about everything that you said thus far is that you're always looking for the next opportunity to do something bigger. You started with just driving up and saying, you know what, I think I'm going to put all my money in and have an event space. And then you say, you know what, these people keep saying they need other stuff for their business. And then you open up another venture. And so you got that going. Then you turn around and you're doing like these webinars and in your business. And now I see that you have written some books. So you also have
It's
books
just,
too. And I'm trying to figure out, when
whew.
did you have time through all of that to pull out a couple of books?
And let me be upfront and be honest with you. Those books are still in the making. They are coming out
Oh, okay.
2018.
Gotcha.
I don't even have the time, but I got to get them out because there's
Mm-hmm.
so many people that I'm already ordered. They're waiting on them, and I got the content. I just got it. My publisher's going to kill me, and we got to get them out. But I don't
Mm-hmm.
even have the time. But I'm so big. I guess one of my I love people and I want to see people grow. I want to see people go to the next level. I want to see people happy. That my whole life I have cared dearly about people. So I'm always trying to find ways what can help somebody else. It's not even about me. It's bigger than me. So my whole goal is always what can I do to help somebody else? And that's just a part of my life. It's a lifestyle to me now. So I'm always creating something different because I see a need, and
Okay.
that's what I shoot for.
All right. Well, with that said, why don't you share three major big points that you would like to share with people who want to do what you do as far as event space? And we know customer service is one, but if someone wants to really go out there and do
Okay.
the business space thing or event space or any
Mhm.
of that, give
Mhm.
them three really good pieces of advice.
All right, that sounds great. So I would say my first tip would be develop you a business plan for your event space. And inside of your event space, inside of the business plan, make sure that you put a powerful marketing plan because don't go into business ever thinking that family friends is going to be the one sustaining you. Let's stop that right now. So have a powerful marketing plan because when you have an event center is for everybody. So everybody's your customer, everybody's your client. So you need a powerful marketing plan. That would be my first tip. My second tip would be if you're going to do a event center, location is key. So it may not be the building that's close to you. It may not be the building that's close to your grandmother, or it may not be the building where you grew up in. It may be something completely different. So how are you going to be able to determine that is you're going to have to study your target market. So whatever your
Mm-hmm.
target market is, then what you're going to need to do is try to get with a commercial um, real estate agent and say, hey, this is what I'm looking to do, whether you want to lease it or purchase it. And this is, the location, this is the size, and let them walk you through those type of things that may work better for your event space. And then my last key point I would say to anyone who's wanting to open up a event space is have a plan B. Have a plan B. Don't solely just focus on, okay, I want to open up an event space and that's it. So when you think about events, think about what all it takes to run an event center. Don't just be a hall. Be a full-service event venue where people come through the doors at Manhattan on Broadway. They can get catering. We have a bar service. We have event rentals. We have decorators. We have floors. We have event rentals. We have tents. All of these things. But guess what? These people need these things for their special event anyway. So if you don't have it, and you can get revenue off of it, guess what? They're going to go rent it from some other company. Why not have a one-stop shop? People love one-stop shop venues. So be a one-stop shop venue where people could come and get everything besides the space. And I promise you, if you do it that way and you follow the business plan, your business plan is really effective. And if you need help with the business plan, we offer those classes and courses too. You will go leaps and bounds, if you do it in the steps you're supposed to do it at. Yep, and that will be my 3 tips I will pass on to you.
I like those 3 tips. Those are awesome. Those are really awesome tips. And I'm pretty sure people have their ears like glued to this thing right about now. Wait a minute, she is giving some hot stuff, okay? She already has 2 venue stuff going on. She know what she's talking about. And I want people to, start really engaging with you. So
Yes, I would love to.
so are you having any current like online webinars? I know you mentioned one, but are you involved in any other activity where people can come out and see you speak, or maybe you're having an event in Louisville that you want people to
Yes,
connect with you in person? That's going to be around
yes.
the summer months when this podcast
hmm
comes out.
Oh, yes, yes. So we have networking events all the time. And the way to find out what we're having or hosting is to go to our website, which is www.manhattanonbroadway, that's all together, manhattanonbroadway.com. We're on social media. We're on Twitter. We're on LinkedIn. We're on Facebook. We're on Instagram. And we keep our marketing director put all of our events on there. We have bourbon and business networking mixers. We have all type of neat events for business owners to come to. We got a big Derby day party. You come to Louisville for Derby, then we have the nicest Derby day party for the grown. For grown people. This won't be no kids involved, but we have a nice classy day party that is super amazing, gives you the whole experience of Derby. And you can follow all of what we do through Manhattan on Broadway. I do have my own personal page for my personal brand on Facebook too as well. It's called Nation Tribute Speaks. Nation Tribute Speaks Inspiration. I think that's what it is. Yeah, Nation Tribute Speaks Inspiration. That is my full name, and I'm also on Instagram underneath Nashan Speaks, NACHAND, and then Speaks as well. My website for my personal brand for classes and all that. My web designer's working on that now, but that's going to be up and going. That's www.nashantribute.com.
All right, fantastic. So, okay, so I really want to appreciate you coming out here and really stepping up to let people know about your business and your new ventures and your book coming out. And if you people that are listening, I'm talking to you guys, that if you're interested in trying to open up an event space or share workspace like Nashay just did, I think you really should just rewind this whole podcast and really pay attention to what she actually said on how she kind of got into it. And it may not apply to everybody, but the core is that you have to invest in yourself and you have to do what you need to do to make it happen if this is what you really want to do. And also to her point earlier, I want to add that when she said that you have to accept all that comes with it, we're talking about taxes, we're talking about electricity, we're talking about anything that has anything to do with a building inspection, fire codes, all that kind of
Oh,
stuff.
yes.
You still have
Yes.
to keep in mind that it's not just having a building where you can walk in anytime. It is all the stuff that comes with it. But the
Yes.
end result is that you're doing something that you're really happy about, and having an event space that people can come and have a one-stop shop I think is the best, because there's so many shared co-work spaces out here, but they only give you one of this and one of that. But it seems like, you doing your thing over there. You doing your thing. So I really appreciate that. And thank you for being on the podcast.
Oh, no problem at all. Thank you so much for having us. And I just speak blessings over everyone listening in to us today.
Awesome.